Welcome to Economic Story Channel, where we tell captivating economic and historical narratives, not just limited to isolated events or dry timelines, but a tight-knit connection explored and analyzed in depth. Today, we continue to talk about the next part, the story of silver in the economy. Why can't silver's value equal gold's? First and foremost is the law of natural scarcity. Although silver is very rare, gold is far rarer. Geologists estimate that gold is 15 to 20 times rarer than silver in the Earth's crust. Annual gold extraction rates are also much lower. For every 9 to 11 ounces of silver mined, only 1 ounce of gold is brought to the surface. The total amount of gold mined in human history is about 190,000 tons, enough to fill an Olympic-sized pool, while the amount of silver is significantly larger. With a far lower natural supply, gold naturally commands a much higher starting price. Second, historical choices shape the fate of these two metals. In the struggle for monetary supremacy in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, gold emerged victorious. The world's leading industrial powers chose gold, elevating it to the sole monetary standard. From then on, gold became the core reserve asset of central banks worldwide. Tens of thousands of tons of gold are stored in national vaults, creating a massive, sustained, and institutional demand that silver cannot match. Silver was dethroned from its official monetary role. Though still valued, it lost the title of a supreme national reserve asset. Third, silver's dual nature is both a strength and a burden. Its critical role as an industrial metal provides a solid price floor, but it also deprives silver of the top spot as a safe haven asset. Gold is barely consumed by industry. Most mined gold remains in the form of bars, coins, or jewelry, a near-permanent store of value. In contrast, a significant portion of mined silver is used in industries and never returns to the market as an investment. Moreover, its reliance on industrial demand makes silver prices more sensitive to economic cycles, rendering it more volatile and somewhat riskier than gold in the eyes of investors seeking absolute safety. Finally, there is the physical difference in storing wealth. Gold is twice as dense and heavy as silver. To store significant asset value, a single gold bar fits in the palm of your hand, while you would need a heavy, bulky crate of silver. For individuals, governments, and organizations aiming to store vast wealth safely and discreetly, gold is clearly a superior practical choice. In summary, the price gap between gold and silver is not random. It results from natural scarcity, faithful historical choices, and the distinct economic roles each metal plays. When silver prices rise, who wins and who loses? Silver prices have a complex and multifaceted relationship with the health of the economy. In the early stages of uncertainty, when fears of inflation and recession grow, demand for silver as a safe haven asset may surge, driving prices up. However, if a recession actually occurs and persists, it will negatively and strongly impact industrial demand, which accounts for over half of silver's total demand. This can curb silver's upward momentum, potentially making it perform less effectively than gold. One of the most powerful tools for reading the market is the gold-to-silver ratio. This ratio indicates how many ounces of silver are needed to buy 1 ounce of gold. This index is a silent dialogue between the two precious metals, a barometer of market fear and greed. When this ratio reaches extremes, such as spiking above 93 to 1 during the COVID-19 shock in May 2020, it means gold is far more expensive than silver. This signals extreme fear. Investors are dumping risky assets and rushing into gold, the ultimate safe haven asset, while overlooking silver due to concerns about declining industrial demand during a recession. Conversely, when the ratio narrows, it indicates improving risk appetite. Investors become more optimistic about economic prospects, making silver, with its strong industrial demand, more attractive and causing its price to rise faster than gold. In today's volatile world, geopolitical tensions and de-dollarization trends are also significant drivers for silver. Wars, trade conflicts, or financial sanctions drive central banks and investors to diversify reserves. reducing reliance on the U.S. dollar. This increases demand for precious metals, and silver, though not the primary target like gold, indirectly benefits from this flow. So, what does all this imply for the economy? Generally, a rapid and sustained rise in gold prices is often a troubling warning signal. It indicates capital is slamming on the brakes and fleeing from productive sectors and businesses to seek a new safe haven. This may signal tightening credit conditions, businesses struggling to raise capital for expansion, and an increasing risk of economic growth slowdown. It is like a fever, both a symptom of a weakening economic body and a contributor to worsening the condition. Thus, those smiling when silver prices rise are certainly investors who patiently accumulated silver beforehand. When silver prices soar, it's time for them to reap the rewards. They can lock in profits or continue holding in anticipation of even higher prices. Additionally, silver mining and refining companies are also winners. Their profit margins improve as selling prices surge while production costs remain relatively stable. Abundant cash flow will encourage them to invest more in exploring new mines and expanding production, creating a positive cycle for the industry. However, on the other side of the scale, many industries and the broader economy suffer from rising silver prices. Commercial banks may face a nightmare. When a silver rush erupts, large amounts of savings may be withdrawn from the system to be poured into precious metals. Banks must raise deposit rates to retain capital, eroding their profit margins. The most painful impact is likely on manufacturing companies relying on silver as an input. Giants in the electronics industry, solar panel manufacturers, or electric vehicle producers will face rapidly rising production costs. They face a tough choice: either raise product prices, reducing competitiveness, or accept thinner profit margins. High silver prices place immense pressure on the green energy revolution, to the point that many manufacturers are researching less efficient alternative materials. On a macro level, when vast capital flows out of productive sectors into safe haven assets like silver, it reduces investment in growth, causing a slowdown in the entire economy. Businesses struggle to borrow capital, investment declines, jobs dwindle, and societal purchasing power weakens. Conclusion: silver may be less glamorous than gold, but its dual role makes it an extremely sensitive and honest economic forecaster. It authentically reflects the endless tug-of-war between human psychology, fear of an uncertain future, and hope for industrial growth. When instability and fear prevail, silver rises alongside gold, but gold typically leads. Conversely, when the economy thrives, silver, powered by industrial demand, surges more strongly. Looking to the future, silver's role seems more critical than ever. The energy transition revolution and the booming electronics world heavily rely on silver as an indispensable material. Industrial demand is projected to far outstrip supply in the coming years, potentially pushing silver prices to new heights, allowing it to step out of gold's shadow and assert its position as a strategic metal in the green era. However, a paradox remains. If silver's shine comes from factories and technology hubs, it signals a healthy and innovative economy. But if silver prices surge primarily due to panicked capital seeking refuge, it's the tipping point for an economy starved of capital for growth. Listening to silver's story and understanding its whispers is the way to gain deeper insight into the world of finance and economics. If you enjoyed this article, please like and share to support us. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to stay updated on our future videos in Economic Story Channel. Thank you for listening.